Okay, I'm a month and a week into estrogen, low-dose estrogen. It's bicalutamide and estradiol. And I have a patch and a pill for the anti-androgen. I would say the most notable things that have happened so far are kind of the lack of things that have happened. There has not been a lot of changes in my body. And yeah, it's not a lot of changes. I was pretty frustrated, I remember, in the first couple of weeks because there just wasn't that many changes. And I was like, that's annoying. There's no like things going on with my body and I want there to be. But I know I just have to be patient. But there were a few changes at the end of the month and this week. And so I kind of just wanted to share those changes. Some of them are kind of emotional and some of them are physical. For one, the physical changes have been very few. My facial hair has been growing back a little bit slower. It takes about 4 days to get to the same place I would get to in like a day. Maybe a little bit less time than that, but so that's kind of interesting. I still have stubble and stuff, but it's like mostly it doesn't grow back immediately. What's going on in terms of, but that's basically like the one like physical thing. I kind of for a second there I thought like I got boobs going, but then I was like, no, there's no way that's happening. I'm pretty sure like I had a little like I had a moment where I was like, I got boobs, like there's fat coming in, and I got kind of worried about it, but I'm pretty sure that on low dose it doesn't go for like 3 months. You don't have boobs, which is kind of annoying, but yeah, nothing has really happened in any other part of my body. Let me think. Is there anything else? I mean, I'm not really measuring anything, so like I don't have any it's just like things that I'm noticing. My nipples are kind of soft, and they can tend to be hard when I'm not when nothing's going on. So they're just like chilling. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it in physical things. There's been a couple of emotional changes. In terms of hormones, emotional changes. I think the first notable one is I started crying more, or like I am able to cry more now, which I really, really like. And I really value being able to cry because it feels really good. And I just was not able to cry at all before. So now I am able to cry. It's pretty cool. I cry at things that don't really I wouldn't say before would have made me cry. Like one time I couldn't find my earrings and I was like, I'm crying, tears are coming out, but I wasn't like that. I wasn't really upset. It was just I felt like crying. It was good. Mood swings have not really happened. I mean, I guess I just had mood swings before because nothing notably different has been changing in my mood. I'm going to add a clip from Arca. She talks about mood swings, and I also wanted to add a clip about her talking about oh my god, what did I want to add? What the fuck?
The hormones themselves as well. People ask me, what about mood swings? Doesn't taking hormones or anti-androgens give you mood swings? And I was like, I've been having mood swings since before I started taking hormones. So I don't know which mood swing is due to the hormones or whatever. I don't have like more intense mood swings than I had before. I think that's like, I don't know how much of that is placebo. Like there's so many things that like discourage people from experimenting with hormones. Like if you look online, it's like you find all these reasons why. It's like, bitch, if you take antibiotics, if you take supplements, if you take aspirin, like that's body mod. You're changing the chemistry of your body. Like,
I do kind of feel like there's this one day last week where I was really annoyed for like no reason. And it felt very much similar to when I was like 13 and like going through puberty, and it was just like I'm just annoyed and like nothing's actually going wrong, but like I'm gonna take it out on everyone. But I think I'm gonna do better this time, this puberty, because like I will just like walk away if I'm feeling that way, you know what I mean? I think that's probably a better move. Okay, I totally forgot to add this, but in the video, and I'm too lazy to set up the camera again. But one of the best things I would say is just like being able to like hang out with a bunch of randos, or I don't even know, and just be like, yeah, I'm on estrogen. Like, fuck is up? You know what I mean? I don't know. It feels very like empowering and kind of, yeah. Because I don't really say I'm like transitioning necessarily. I just like, I'm on estrogen. Like it's something, like it's like a drug I'm doing. Like at a party, I'm like, yeah, I'm on estrogen right now. And it's really fun. And like, I think it's so, and people are like, whoa. And then you're like, yeah, you could do it too. It's crazy. You could just do this. I mean, obviously it's not that casual, but I think when you put it that way, it kind of like blows people's minds. So highly recommend. Yeah, but there has been a lot, like, in terms of like emotions, just about my thinking about transitioning has been like a lot. It's been pretty rough in that department, I would say. I feel like for the first, like, honestly, the first month, I was just like, should I get off of hormones? Should I stay on hormones? Should I up my dosage? Like, it was all of these crazy emotions around, like, changing my hormones, changing these things. Logically, that, like, me thinking that I'm ruining my body by taking hormones is, like, really transphobic. But that's kind of how I felt, to be honest. And I know that's not true, but I was like, well, I would look in the mirror and be like, okay, like, I feel like I like my body, and I think I have a really nice body in a masculine way, and not in a feminine way, really. And I like it. And that kind of like confused me a lot, because I was like, I like my body. And so I was having a lot of like back and forths and like, but I watched that video that like Joshua Bade made, and they were kind of like, they were saying that they've been, on and off estrogen for the last year. And I was kind of like, I could just like, if I need to do that, like I can just do that. It's okay to just like be on and off, or like not be sure, and like that's fine. Okay, the clip that I wanted to add about Arca was it talking about like the faith that is involved when taking hormones, and I think it's a really good like I really like what she's saying. I really like it. So I'm gonna add it.
Do you ever question your transition? Of course. I think if you begin transitioning and you don't question your transition, is it really transitioning or something? I don't know. Like, I think it's beautiful. I think it's like a faith. That's why I named the show The Shed One Mutant Faith, because what is faith without doubt, you know? And like religion-wise, theology-wise, like all the teachings of the most ancient spiritual practices involve like reconciling with a doubt, you know, like faith and doubt renew one another. The moment of doubt and choosing to believe or to harness one's faith, in virtue of that doubt, that's a real faith, you know, a faith that's just like stubborn or whatever, that leaves no room for vulnerability, for doubt. I don't know what that is, you know.
But I think I kind of realized that I want to be on estrogen, because every time that I was like around family or around people that I wasn't really out with and like wasn't, and like people were using he, him pronouns with, and like just like things that I realized that I was like feeling like I needed to take in those kinds of situations, I would be like, I wish I had boobs, or like I looked different, and I'd get like honestly pretty dysphoric. And I feel like I've had a very different relationship with what I thought dysphoria was. Now I kind of understand it better. I really don't really know what dysphoria is, to be honest, but like I know euphoria, like that makes sense to me, but like dysphoria is weird because like I don't feel it all the time, and like sometimes I do feel it intensely, but a lot of the times it's not even about my body, but it's about like different aspects. And I think I've come to the conclusion that it really just means that I'm uncomfortable with myself in certain aspects, and those can be gendered or not gendered. And it's okay to want to change myself in ways that maybe is perceived to be gendered, but for me it just feels more comfortable. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but like I think when like my pit crew photo, I had like the ones like with estrogen, one without estrogen, and I think like part of transitioning is like just realizing that it is about gender, and it is about femininity and masculinity, but it's also not. Like, it's just about you. It's just about me. It's about, like, who I am as a person, and, like, being a person that I want to be, I guess, you know? And that doesn't need to have gender necessarily involved, but for me it does. In some aspects and not in all aspects, and like I think I felt that way about my hair, you know, and like other things that, you know, I can transition with that aren't necessarily like growing boobs. But yeah, that's kind of, I have a different feeling about dysphoria. I think I remember this really extreme feeling when I started estrogen that I think is just, I'll end on this, but I remember just feeling like the next day after I started it, I felt like I had just like gone on to like a life raft. Like I was still in the ocean because I don't know, like hadn't reached land yet, but I felt like I was just free form kind of swimming before. And like that was cool because like I had like total freedom of movement, and like I was just exploring everything, but it was really, really like fucking exhausting. And I don't think I realized that until I started, and I was like, oh, thank God I decided to do this, because I was just like, felt like I was just trying everything, but it was all just like really tiring, and estrogen and hormones kind of felt like, okay, I can like just chill and let my body do what it does, and I don't need to like be trying out all these new things all the time, and I can feel like I have something buoyant to hold me up a little bit. Yeah, pretty intense. But yeah, I think overall it's been good. I'm gonna stay on it. I'll probably have an update later. I think I decided at the end of the day that I was just gonna go with it. I could probably explain that later, but yeah, I hope this video was like helpful. to someone, or just like encouraging to like do what you think you need to do with your body because it's yours. But yeah, have a good day.